welcome
Hi,
to
guys.
the catch up. We're along the beautiful Haji
Let's
Lane.
walk slower, it's not that long a street.
Have you not been to Haji Lane?
I have, but like a really long time ago.
You're not hipster. Okay, like actually it's been a long
I'm
time
not
since.
hip and I'm not a hipster. Okay, what's today's topic?
Okay, so we're talking about the subject of abuse, and this came up because during the circuit breaker, the number of abuse cases actually went up. I mean, as a woman, it makes me very upset and very angry, and
As a guy, it makes me feel...
what?
Yeah, you first. You continue first, yeah?
Yeah, so I have a friend who was the victim of dating abuse. She was not married to this guy, so I don't think you can call it domestic abuse. I think dating abuse, whether you're married or
In
not.
Singapore, it's considered just assault, I think. Overseas,
I mean-
it's considered
Oh, really?
domestic. As long as you're romantically or sexually involved, then it's considered
So what
overseas.
does the title make it any different?
It makes it different because there is a different law.
Oh, so
Yeah.
which is more severe?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually have no idea. I would
Okay.
suspect assault is more serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good because it should be quite serious. So this girl, I mean, she actually came out in the papers. Rachel is her name, and so she came out in the papers because this happened 3 years ago. But her boyfriend finally got convicted. Finally, so like
Okay.
he got sentenced to.
That's quite a hardcore case, right? Like the abuse is quite serious.
Yeah, it's quite hardcore. Basically, she had broken nose, I think broken cheek, stuff like that. So it's quite hardcore. The annoying thing is this guy is still on the he hasn't lost his medical license. He's a doctor, a locum, and he hasn't lost his medical license. The other case that came up during this time was this lady on Facebook. This is not a friend, but a friend sent this to me. And she also was the case of domestic abuse, even more than just physical abuse. He took all her clothes and threw them outside the house.
Oh, that's the Facebook page, right?
Yeah, the Facebook
That's
one.
the Facebook one where it's actually a personal post, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's
she shared.
Yes.
It feels like a cry for help.
It's obviously
Felt
a
like
crime
it,
for help. lah. Yeah.
So when the producer told me, then I feel like I don't have anything to say about it. Like I don't have an opinion about it. Of
You don't have an opinion
No,
about
as in
it?
like because
See
it's,
the, like-
it's very straightforward, right? Like okay, it's like it's bad lah. It shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But then I don't have like there are no two sides about it.
No,
and
but there are a lot of
everything.
implications.
Yeah. So after that, I realized like this feeling, right, actually is quite. I feel lah. I'm assuming it's quite common among guys because we are usually not the victim of,
Yeah.
of because we are
Physically,
usually the
you're the-
physically stronger one, right?
Correct.
So like for us, like when we're not affected about it, we're like, oh, okay lah, and you feel so distant, like
Yeah.
oh, it's not gonna happen to like people around me and stuff like that. So all the more I'm like, oh, I don't have an opinion about it. And then, wow, this is gonna be very unpopular. Don't kill me. But like domestic abuse has sort of became like a feminist movement
Okay.
recently. I feel like in the recent years. So like it came with that attachment to it. Then it's like, oh, okay, is it like a feminist agenda that they're trying to push? I know this is super unpopular, but I'm telling you unfiltered like
Okay,
this is our
fair,
people.
fair.
I just want to put that point of view
Okay,
out there.
okay.
So to be fair, I'm working with 2 girls lah. Jack is producer, is also a girl. So when they say like, okay, they're very insistent on this topic, I can see in their eyes.
Yeah,
right?
he's
So
like, are we really doing this
I'm really
topic?
doing this, like there's nothing to say. Okay, then I went to research lah. And then I actually realized that there is a lot to it.
Mm.
Yeah. But do you have anything else you want to add before I
No, I mean, I'm
give
just
you
saying
my
that.
facts,
Okay.
barrage?
Okay, let's hear the facts, bro. I mean,
You sure?
I'll just share maybe a personal
Yeah,
experience.
maybe you should share a personal experience, and also like I said, like for guys we don't really care.
Yeah.
So like for girls, why do it affect? Like what is that feeling that all female feel? It seems like all female
Yeah,
feel very
yeah.
strongly. Like yeah.
I think a lot of girls have been victims of some form of abuse in their relationship, but it just may not be like you get a broken nose or broken cheekbone. Like I didn't come out with a broken nose or cheekbone, but
Your nose just broke right recently.
yeah, but from wakeboarding lah.
Parents. Maybe you headbutt him. That's more likely.
He's
More
at
likely
with
he's the victim.
My head first, so that's why I always bang into things. No, but I think it's the intimidation that y'all don't realize is very scary. So I was with my ex-boyfriend. He actually put his face in front of mine and he yelled at me and he took me, he shook me. Right. So even though there's no real so-called physical harm done,
Yep.
it's honestly very scary as a woman. And
Yeah.
I think
that's
the other,
considered domestic abuse as well, by the way.
yeah, I mean, and the other thing, the misconception is that girls who get abused are very weak and all that. I mean, I don't consider myself weak physically or even like mentally, but it's not about that. It's the intimidation is very scary for a woman, knowing that you're not gonna win. Most times you're not gonna win like a man. Right? Even
Yeah
if
lah,
it's a
no lah.
yeah,
Cannot lah.
it's just not possible lah. We're
It's
just not
okay.
made that way.
I mean, to me, like this kind of physical abuse is really come down to like is the most like the lousiest kind of bully lah, right? Because not
Confirm you win,
psychological. Then, yeah, it's just like I'm
Yeah.
bigger than you and then I win out. That's it. You know,
Yeah.
so it's very low and very gross lah in that way.
Yeah, I know how you see it as like it's a push for the feminist agenda, and I'm sure there's a bit of that. Although I don't see anything wrong with that, right? But I will also say that it's because I feel like a lot of girls have actually been victims of some sort of abuse or intimidation, and they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't talk about it till years after that, and then it's like you don't get hit, so you don't. Is it really abuse in your head? But actually, the fear is there, and the intimidation is there, and it's like. Imagine you're someone and you don't dare to speak up because you're afraid that he will like shake you and stuff like that or yell at you.
Basically, he can physically hurt you lah.
Yeah, so actually I was scared lah. I didn't want my face to get hit. Honestly, right? So for me, I think
not hit lah.
that's abuse.
Every episode you hit me. Every episode, okay. Like even our viewers have noticed it. Okay, continue.
Okay, so let's hear your your
Okay, so
bump.
this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give some facts that I think are really cool, that I think are very relevant and I found online.
Okay.
And then I have some questions that I think are worth basically answering lah. Okay, so I actually went to look at our law
Okay.
of what domestic abuse is in Singapore. Okay, so this is our family violence bill. Okay, so I'm just going to summarize it. So what actually constitutes as domestic abuse? Okay, willfully and knowingly placing and attempting a family member in fear or hurt. So fear is considered.
Fear is
so what
considered,
if it was your husband doing that to you?
Like it's intimidation,
Yeah,
right?
it's intimidation. That's considered. Okay. So then, causing hurt to a family member by an act that is known or ought to result in hurt. Okay. Compelling a family member by force to engage in any sexual acts. Okay. Wrongful restraining or confining a family member against their will.
Oh my gosh! So that has definitely happened to me. Like not allowed to leave the house. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like imprison you?
Yeah, like confine me, like we have it before, and he's like, don't you dare leave the house, and then like literally physically stop me.
Okay.
It's scary, you know.
I'm sure. Okay, so causing harassment with intent that is likely gonna cause anguish to a family member. Right, so there's nothing that says here that like, I was thinking like, so boyfriend, girlfriend consider or not?
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like it considered,
Yeah.
but that could be a grey area, I don't know.
Oh my god, I should
Singapore?
have reported my ex-boyfriend.
Well, a lot of cases after this episode.
Yeah, no, I think it's good.
Okay, so first offense, fine not exceeding $2,000 and imprisonment for a term that is not exceeding 6 months or both. Second or subsequent offense, fine of $5,000 or imprisonment for a term of not less than 3 months and not more than 2 years. And also pay compensation for injury and damage suffered to the family member not exceeding $1,000. That is actually the current punishment.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you have any?
The only problem I have with the law is that it doesn't cover girls who are not married to their other
Yeah, I
house.
was looking, but I couldn't really find.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that it's probably under like just like
Assault.
assault lah, like.
Yeah, but you see, right? So if your boyfriend intimidates you the way my ex-boyfriend intimidated me, but we're not married, then you know what I mean? I feel like I'm not protected then. So maybe that part is a nuance lah. But that
Okay,
could
yeah.
be-
Then I also have something that I realized that we don't have anything that talks about psychological abuse, which
Yeah.
I think it could be a newer concept
Yeah.
per se, as it could also be very hard to constitute what is psychological
I mean, I did a whole podcast
abuse,
on
right?
it.
Okay,
Right, so I did a whole
link
podcast.
and go and watch.
Yeah, I'll link and go and watch. But it is harder to sort of pinpoint because there's no physical outcome, right? But then
And it's very like it's not tangible. It's internal. You can't really.
It's not,
put
yeah, but
you can't really say how damaged or how abused you are.
yeah,
In a way.
but I mean, there are of course like the very obvious ones, like constantly putting you down or putting you down worse in front of like people.
But is that legally?
Yeah, so I don't know if legally, you know, or like basically trapping you in the house lah. Maybe it's not a physical thing,
Trapping you at a house is
but
illegal
guilt
lah.
tripping.
Guilt
By guilt
tripping,
tripping,
ah.
not physical trapping.
Oh,
See, like my ex-boyfriend one
wow.
is
so
quite
very psychological. lah.
correct. So
Yeah.
the ex-boyfriend was quite obvious because physically.
Boyfriends, more than one.
No lah, one
What's
only.
his name?
That ex-boyfriend. No one. All the rest all very good.
What's his name? Chinese, Singaporean.
Not Chinese.
From school?
Yes, Singaporean.
From where? What?
Not from school. Stop it! Will you stop it? Oh my gosh, so irritating.
Okay.
Um,
Which hand? Okay. Continue.
Yeah. See lah, I totally lost my train.
Sorry.
Yeah, so anyway, psychological abuse, it is as bad as physical abuse, but it's a bit harder to pinpoint. I don't know if it works for the law to cover that because, like you say, it's very hard to prove. Right? And then you also don't want people to like keep blaming each other, you know, because if it's like a loophole. So I think we should be careful about just like making laws around things like that. But I think it should be explored.
Okay, so there's another element when I was researching that I found like, wow, this is actually something that we don't even talk about,
Okay.
right? Very often, which is domestic abuse for LGBTQ.
Oh.
Which a lot of them are like the same sex, right?
Yeah.
Then, but like, so what? They don't have abuse or what? So
No, I'm sure they have.
I was
yeah.
very curious also,
Yeah.
so I went to read. Okay, so there was also like reasons for it being worse for them. There's a lot more shame and embarrassment because already they are a minority and not
Okay.
they have a stigma.
Yeah.
And then there is a fear of not being taken seriously.
Mm.
So like if you are like two girls, for example, and they are the same size, people will be like, oh, come on,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
No,
Like-
that's true. That's
like,
true.
Like don't joke.
Yeah.
Okay, then there is this like LGBTQ community. You don't want to like make the community look bad as a whole,
Oh yeah,
right?
that's true.
So
yeah.
that's also very interesting.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
there's less legal protection.
Yeah.
Because you're not really domestic,
I
and you
think-
can't really say you're a couple as well.
No, I think that's the same problem as couples who are not married, like my friend and boyfriend. Yeah, correct. So I think the law needs to address that part.
Yeah.
Right. Like even if you're.
But I mean, we are a long way off the LGBTQ.
Yeah. Okay, maybe
legalization
at least
thing,
address for straight couples. But then I think
Yeah.
it does it even matter if you're a couple? Do you know what I mean? Like abuse is abuse. I feel lah. If you want to say that our law will not do it because we are a long way
We
from
need a lawyer,
protecting
man.
LGBT.
We need to talk to a lawyer about
Yeah.
this because I think there's a lot of nuance here that we don't really understand.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so actually that's just besides the point. Something I think it's interesting to
Yeah.
talk about as well. Okay, but then okay, so here comes all the the questions that I want to ask. Okay, so the question is, how and why do you get into abusive relationships in the first place?
You're asking me.
As in like,
You don't.
probably you and also
Nobody
like,
goes
maybe-
into it thinking that you're gonna get abused.
Okay,
So you don't.
and you'll be surprised because people who have never been in an abusive relationship, they'll be
Okay,
like,
so
you
like
choose
for
one
me-
ma, you go in yourself one ma.
Yeah, of course you're going yourself. True. But to be fair, like, I got out. Like the third time he shook me, I got out. It's not that easy though, because you're in love and all that.
And you are
right?
such a like strong and opinionated.
Yeah, but even then it
woman.
took quite a few times. And I never talked about it, you know. Imagine you're in a relationship, even for a guy, like with a girl that you love very much, and everything else is really good. But then when they get really angry, then this happens. Sometimes you excuse it, oh, he was really angry, or like, I made him really angry, you know. So there are a lot of reasons why people don't get out. Nobody goes in thinking that they're gonna
So
be abused.
whenever it starts, you don't know lah, right? That's what
You
I'm
don't know,
saying.
but I think there are signs.
There are red flags.
There are red flags. There are red flags like if the person has like rage issues, right? If the person like
Maybe drinking issues, maybe drug issues.
of course,
as well.
those go without saying. But if like even if they don't hurt you,
Anger issues.
like if they bang the wall,
Oh.
throw things, I think all that is actually.
Wow, but I think I've been.
See, this is
at
what I mean.
those
Most guys
level when
are
I was
like that.
younger, when I don't have so much EQ,
So
I think I probably
you know what the
might
big
have
problem
through
is
something or like
for
angst.
women, we'll give you help sources that you can get help. For guys, please try to do some emotional work on yourselves. I really feel like for men, it's not that they mean to do it. Not all of them do, right? But because they don't know how to process their emotions, then the rage gets to them. Then they throw something. Then the next time they whack their fist against the wall. I know a guy who whack and then like broke his wrist, right? But then next thing you know, he might whack your own girlfriend. So I'm just saying that it happens, right? And so like you see these signs, then I would say speak to your partner about it. Tell
I
them
also
that you're
feel
scared
like-
and then also if it continues, then you might want to rethink the relationship.
Do you think that like it also has to do with guys that are very controlling? Do you think that's a possibility as well?
I think they are correlated.
Because
I don't think
you
it's
think they're
cause.
correlated?
I think they're correlated. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I also feel like when you cannot control, like in a relationship, there's a lot of controlling issues,
Yeah.
like jealousy issues.
Yeah.
And when you feel like you cannot control your partner, then the only way you can control them is by your advantage, which is physically lah. I feel that could be a very
For sure,
high
yeah.
motivation for
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
to actually turn violent.
So that's also another red flag to look out for if your partner is very controlling.
very controlling.
Yeah.
Okay.
It usually goes together. Scary.
So next, so if you know you're in an abusive relationship, right? Why do you not get out? I think this is the question that like a lot of guys will ask. Like,
Because
"Hey,
you
then
always think
go out
that
lah,
you
can
always
go out
think it's
what?"
a one-off. But the first time, it's not like he's hitting you every day. Okay, if it's hitting every day, like you will know. But firstly, you think it's a one-off, right? Then you forgive him. Then usually they're very apologetic after that. It's a fit of rage, you know, or like if it's like it just shakes you. Yeah, it's very scary. But you tell yourself, oh, he was just very
He never
angry.
hit me what?
Yeah, he never hit me. Oh.
Like, okay.
Correct. So it just goes on and on. Yeah, I asked Rachel this as well. I asked her why she didn't get out.
Okay.
She said because in every other way they were like they had so much fun together, they were perfect together, and she also saw it as a one-off. Really.
So are you saying like if it happens once, then like that's it, the end now?
I would say ideally, but I know that in real life that's not possible, even for myself. Because you're in love with the person, what? right? But I think that you really need to have a serious talk with the person and say, if this continues, like, I really cannot do this anymore.
Okay.
And then see if he is willing to work on himself, right? But then I think that the whole point of this also is to sort of just highlight the fact that it's happening, that it's not normal, but it is more common than we think, and to really seek help when it happens.
Okay, so I guess the last question is, which also is the resources, like how do you get out of an abusive relationship, or what to do if you are in an abusive relationship? You want to whip up your...
I thought you have.
Oh, you have?
Whip up.
Okay.
Because mine is connected to my mic.
That's what she said.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I tried to right to that one.
Yeah, you did. Okay. Cannot blame me, Cannot blame me,
I think there's Aware. There's the Aware website, and also there's the Violence Against Women. I also think talking to your friends, it sounds very lame, but I actually feel it's quite important, because then your friends will be able to tell you, like, hey, this is
more
not
objective
stuff.
point of view.
Yeah, a bit more objective.
Right.
And if all else fails, I would say take some space from the person, for sure, and really seriously think about getting out. That one only you can do.
The website I actually got a lot of the information is loveisrespect.org. So that, I think, is a good resource as well.
Okay.
Anything else?
Guys.
Anything else?
Uh,
Girl power thing?
Hashtag that's not love. I think I saw this movement.
That's not love. Okay.
That's not love, right? Yeah, so I think I saw this whole series of videos or like content that was hashtag that's not love, and I think it was quite well done because it was a lot of small examples, very specific examples of relationship abuse or intimidation, and then it's telling you that's not love. So I think you should just be aware and try to see the signs. Get out what you can.
Alright, man. If you have personal experience, share with us. If you have anything you want to add, any resource you have to share with the community, please do.
Okay.
Heavy topic.
Very heavy.
But I think I learned quite a bit.
Very good. We have educated one straight man.
What do you mean?
Bye.
Alright, guys. Bye.